Hi, Chalice here. Star date 44365.1930 or June 18th, 2021 at approximately 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Starting a little bit late today because had to work a little bit late, and so everything else goes later. So anyway, here we are. This will be welcome to my show. This will be episode 15 of the video log, and I had in mind to talk about something else entirely, but some things came across my attention and that seemed really quite absurd. So I wanted to bring them to everybody else's attention or to other people's attention because it's just disturbing. So please like and share and subscribe, and hopefully we'll get a bigger group. But anyway, the first part, this has to do with the IRS. Both of these have to do with the IRS. And as we know, they're already evil enough. We don't really need any more examples of how evil they are, but I think it's important for people to get their attention to what the IRS is doing that the regular people don't know. All the shenanigans and the evilness that the IRS does. So we've talked about the IRS in a previous episode, but here's more. So that's what a couple of more things that came across my desk. This one comes from, let's see, the fund. I know it's backwards, and I would have to unmirror, then my background goes backwards, so everything gets messed up. So that says the fund, and the fund is a title insurance underwriter, and they write title insurance for real property. When you buy a property, you'll get, or you're supposed to get, an insurance that covers your title to certain conditions with certain exceptions and so on and so forth. But this is the fund is one of those agencies or companies who write title insurance. Not directly, they work through agents, either title agents or attorneys. But anyway, so let me read this portion here. It's in this paragraph, right off the top. Well, crap. Here it is, somewhere there. Anyway, the title of the article is "Clearing Estate Taxes in Real Estate Transactions." So this was written by Scott Jackson, who is an underwriting counsel for the fund, which means he's an attorney specializing in real estate. So this paragraph starts out with, "For those deceased individuals who leave an estate that is subject to federal estate taxes, a federal estate tax lien is imposed against the property," my words, "is imposed the moment that individual dies." So, just those words right there. Can you believe how absurd it is? So if you have the potential to have estate taxes due, the minute you die or your loved one dies, the IRS has already claimed the property. That's what that means. A tax lien is imposed. There is a lien placed against the property that belonged to the deceased by the IRS. That is enough right there. Should be enough to get everybody riled up and abolish this evil agency. How is you die, your property now gets liened, and you can't do anything with your property without satisfying the feds first? This is absurd, but this is real. This is not being made up. This happens. So the instant somebody dies, a tax lien is placed against the property. A tax lien and a federal tax lien is higher priority than any other liens. It has the highest priority, next to and under the mortgage. The federal tax lien, even if, by some chance you had a judgment lien placed against your property for whatever reason, the federal tax lien will supersede that. But keeping in mind, I'm not giving legal advice or any legal information. This is freely available information. You just have to do, look it up and research it here and there, do some Googling and things. You can find it. So I'm not giving any legal advice. And really, who cares, right? We could probably get into that unlicensed practice of law. But let's not get distracted. That's a whole nother topic, which I have a few things to say about that too. But I mean, right off the bat, as the instant it says right here, the moment that the individual dies, a tax lien is against the property. Period. I mean, you didn't even get a chance to review what's due and how much is due or pay the due. Right then and there, you've already got a lien against the property. And which of course means it has to be settled before the property can change hands to anywhere. Even if you willed it to your kids, they can't do anything with it. Or other loved ones, or if you willed it to somewhere, or even if it's homesteaded and the spouse gets it automatically, they can't do anything with it because this stinking tax lien is on the property. This is just, it's criminal. It's theft. That really is theft. They just stolen your property. They've stolen your property because you can't do anything with it. You might think you can, you're living there, but they own it. Because you can't get rid of it. You can't dispose of your property without getting them first. They own your property. You might live there. I guess you're like a tenant, and they're the landlord. And you got to take care of your own property and pay for it too. But they own it. It's really absurd. It's there's more to it. And the rest of this paragraph says, the lien does not have to be recorded. So the tax lien is instantly applied and doesn't even have to be recorded. It's there. And it's just there all by itself. It does not have to follow the rules of any other judgment lien or anything else that relates to real property. It does, the deed, the mortgage, liens all have to be recorded or they effectively don't exist. Although a deed would, but different story. Or they effectively don't exist because you can't prove it's there if it's not recorded. And recording gives people the proper notice and what have you, but then we're getting into legal stuff there. But this one does not even have to be recorded. It says, this lien does not have to be recorded to be effective and applies to all assets of the gross taxable estate. You don't even have to record it, and it applies to all the assets of the taxable estate. So not only your property did it steal, it stole everything. The IRS just stole everything, took it out of your pocket and kept it for themselves. This is what this is, and we're only a few words into this article, so we're not going to do this whole article. This is the meat and potatoes of this absurdity, and applies to all assets of the gross taxable estate, which is typically listed on the United States Tax Return Form 706. So this is not tax advice, and really, and here's a little more. Even if the property is not part of the probate, but it still could be part of the gross taxable estate, and the lien would still apply. It's just how out of control is the government that is instantly, the moment you die, the government has stolen your property. It's like the only way you can keep ownership of your property, and even then, that's questionable. We found out in previous episodes, but the only way you can keep your property, you just have to stay alive. Um, it's I can't even find any more different words. It's disturbing, really. It's disgusting. Um, and that's where we are. This is not some fantasy thing. This is not, well, if they do this, if they do that, then it'll pass. And it's already there and it's been there. So I don't know if anybody else gets you know disturbed by that, or just wants to go inflamed. Um, if not, I mean, you say, well, what can you do? Well, what can you do? I mean, that is a good question. Ask that legitimately. What can I do? Wouldn't it be great if I mean, if a few people just didn't pay their taxes and say to screw you, IRS, we're not going to pay the taxes. We're not going to report if somebody dies. To hell with you. It's none of your business. It's not your stuff. We don't care. If enough people did that, then there might be some notice taken. But a few people, they'll just come take you and throw you in a cage. It's gotten very far out of hand, but I mean, it's not by any means hopeless. Not at all. The more people who know, the more people who can stand and say, no, we're not playing this stupid game anymore. You're not taking my stuff. I don't care. Bring your lazy butts down here. Get out of your, $1 million offices that we pay for. And if you want it, come get it. Really. Maybe it's about time to get, if you want it, come get it. I ain't giving it to you. But and really, your sheriff, your local county sheriff should stand in the way of any agents coming trying to take any sort of property. But no agency will transfer title with that lien if they see something that's a gross estate. So we gotta work with title agencies too, and state real estate laws. So it's a lot of work, but it's not impossible and it's not hopeless. But apparently but it's just there. We just need enough of it. 10% of the population would be sufficient. Doesn't have to be everybody. So and that's kind of what I'm doing. Let people know, because how many people didn't know about this one? And I only knew about it because I went through that real estate law program. But the people don't know this until it's too late. Then they find out, oh, you have a lien against your property, so your pretty house that wanted to go to the kids, now you gotta fork over money to the government, and it ain't cheap. It is not cheap. Greedy little agency that has no authority to exist at all. No legitimate authority. They claim it, but not legitimately. So, enough of that one, I think. Number 2. This one, maybe we'll go a little less time on this one. This one here, I belong to Bookkeepers Association organization, professional bookkeepers organization, and I get monthly info from them about things that's happening and such. So this one is about they send emails. So this one is about small firms and self-employeds who accept credit cards, right? So as part of the evil NAFTA program, suddenly everybody who accepted credit cards, the merchant has to send 1099-Ks to the sellers, to the businesses, to identify the amount of income they receive from credit cards. Of course, the IRS gets that, and the IRS wants to make sure you're not making any money they can't get their grubby thievery hands on. So I think, as you can tell, I'm not really much of a fan of the IRS. So that's that happened as part of the first evil NAFTA, and then now it's been updated a little bit. The IRS apparently on their own. The first rules were that if you had $20,000 or 200 transactions totaling over $20,000, then you got a 1099-K. Well, guess what? The IRS now changed that starting this year, 2022 or 2021 tax year. Oh, starting in 2022. Okay, next year. All right, next year. Starting next year now, if you get $600 or more of credit card revenues, you will have to be sent a 1099. When you might have made $10,000 before, no big deal. You don't really report it or not. That's up to you. But now, greedy, extortionist IRS says that if you make 600 or more, you will get a 1099. Not only that, they will get a copy of the 1099-K that you get sent, of the credit card you've taken, because they think they're missing out on some revenue. And so they're trying to I mean, it's like robbing a bank and leaving some money on the shelf. It's like, let's get out of here, but there's still a few bills left on the shelf. Well, the IRS is somebody to go in there and go take it, or get somebody else to go take it and bring it to them. This is what they're doing. You make a couple grand a year in sideline things, just supplemental income to help get you through, get some more food or pay the rent or whatever. Now the IRS wants to come and steal that from you too. Now, whether or not you reported it, don't know, don't need to know, don't care. In fact, I kind of think it would be good if you didn't, but that's just me. That's up to you. But now, your IRS is going to know that you made this $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever. And I personally know some people who do that, who sell a few things here and there, or make a couple of grand, $2,000 or $3,000 a year, and it helps a little bit, right? So, but now, and the IRS comes along and said, well, you've got money here, and we're stealing it from you. So they want to snatch every single penny they can get their stinking hands on. So 600. Okay, back again. Little technical difficulty. The camera decided to fall. I guess I got a little over enthusiastic on tapping this table and just knocked the camera over. So my apologies. And so I think we'll get close to wrapping this show anyway, because it had been going on. I thought it was going to be quick. It's not. I talk too much. I talk a lot. So this is your thing. You want to make a little bit of money, side money to help, with expenses and stuff. Well, the IRS wants to steal that from you too. So again, we go back. Well, what can we do? Well, we went over that, and there are people who are better than me. Chris Ann Hall does actually seminars on things to do and where to start and how to get things going. So, but this is where it is, and the more people that know this stuff, the more people who know about this stuff, then maybe it spreads a little more and more and more, and with a large enough group, maybe we can actually make a difference. We definitely can, and it doesn't take that large a group. Really doesn't. Not 10%, maybe not even 10%. We don't need all 300 and something million people. Just enough to take notice and say, you want your hands, you want to steal my money, you're going to have to come and get it over my dead body. Well, of course, in that case, they'll steal it. Then they'll steal it. They'll walk right over you to steal your property. And when that goes back to the one we talked about, the first part. So anyway, enough ranting, I think, for today. So thank you for watching, and hopefully it makes a difference, and spread the word. This is the kind of stuff that the general consumer is not aware of happening, and that's part of the strategy. They don't steal money from the general consumer. that kind of way. They go after the business people, that and you wouldn't know, you know. This is the sad part, when you sell your deceased property, you know, you let the title agent and stuff, they all take care of things for you at that time, because the last thing you want to do is uh, deal with that part. So they tell you, you've got to have this, got to do this, got to pay that, got to do that, and then that's just it. But now you know in advance that if you have any taxable estate, there's automatically going to be a lien. If you're trying to make a little side money, government's going to snatch that away from you too. So there you go. Have a fun weekend after all that. But really, I mean, we got to know. We got to know these things. So thank you for watching. Please share. And if you would like and subscribe would be nice too. But the most important thing is to get the word out. So, and it takes a lot of doing to keep at it, to get that word out. It takes a lot of doing. People don't want to believe it, but it's there. So anyway, when doing all your work, as always, stay courageous.